what is your opinion of the Stargate 1994 film? 5 out of 5, it's as perfect as they come. 4 out of 5, it's a really entertaining 2 hours. 3 out of 5, it's good. 2 out of 5, at least it gave us the gate. 1 out of 5, I try to pretend it didn't happen.
Oh my goodness. Oh, harsh.
In
I
all
think
honesty.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I mean, it laid down some of the Stargate lore and it gave us the basis for a story, and it did introduce some very important, fascinating characters in Stargate lore.
So 2 out of 5?
No, I think 4 out of 5. I actually
Yeah.
rewatched it recently. I rewatched it over New Year's. And it's a little clunky, it's like mid-90s, so yeah, it's a little clunky, but I did overall enjoy it. And it did obviously kickstart a very passionate relationship between myself and Stargate. So yeah, I'd definitely be rating it around the 4, I think, 4 out of 5.
Nicole?
I'd say I watched Stargate all out of order. It was crazy. So Stargate came really late. The movie came really late for me. And it just felt so separated, but also really, I don't know. There's a certain magic to it. Like almost like the Star Wars magic, not the same level, but whereas like when you're watching something for the first time and it's like the first idea they've had about this thing and it's like, oh, what are they going to do? I feel like it was somewhat underutilized in the movie, obviously, because the show ran for so long and did so many new things, but a movie can only do so much. I will say, I think my feelings on it, I'm going to give it between a 3 and a 4. So if I can give it a 3.5, I would. I think I'd give it a 3. Just because I think I just fell in love with the show's dynamic too much that unfortunately it kind of superseded my love for the film, but I still love the film.
For sure. Yeah. Fans rated it accordingly. Out of 4,800 responses, this poll was published 9 months ago, 13% gave it a 5 out of 5, 51% gave it 4,
nice.
25% gave it a 3, 11% gave it a 2, and 1%, conveniently enough, gave it a 1. So, yeah, it's 51% 4 out of 5. At least, let me see here.
Are you comfortable talking about your feelings on this, David?
Yeah, 88% rated it a 3 or above. Which is really what I basically expected. Yeah, I'm comfortable talking about my feelings about. I mean, obviously there's some political ramifications here that I have to keep in mind. But I'm still going to be. If I were here doing this, I would not dislike the feature film.
Yeah,
terribly.
It's not a bad movie at all.
It's not a bad film.
No.
It's figuring stuff out. It lays seeds for a ton of stuff that comes later. And they mined it very successfully in the television series. As a film by itself, I would have very much enjoyed it if nothing came after. I would give it a 4 out of 5. It's a very entertaining 2 hours.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know, out of the people that took the poll, how many of them had seen it like when it first came out, or at least seen it to initiate their watch of the series, like Nicole.
I think that definitely affects
or
it,
if they saw it out of order and how that impacted on their feelings towards the film. Because I saw it in order and I really liked it, but I did see it, I don't know, like 10 or so years after it originally came out. Totally off topic, but Kurt Russell's hair, I can't get over how straight it is.
It's so straight.
You can use it as a ruler,
like a pencil, like the rubber end of a pencil. A rubber is an eraser for Americans who get confused.
I understand.
So,
I get it.
Letting you know.
It's not commonly used that way over here.
I know. I just realized when I said it the way I said it, I was like, hey,
an
eraser. That's not a bad thing
yes,
here.
We call it a rubber here as well, but we're basically
Thank you,
British,
Australia.
So.
Round the world high
Moving
it's
on.
very straight, like an eraser.
Yes.
Okay. Matt Caneda, to me, always a standalone film. I hear several criticisms over the story, but the visual aesthetics and setting are monolithic, and it successfully enhanced the wonder of space. Ooh.
I agree
there.
That's
like a professional review.
Yes. Alex Williams, when I was a little kid and I first watched it, it was already old by then. I had already watched all of SG-1, so it just seemed like more of a strange prequel to a series with different actors rather than the thing that came first.
Yeah,
that all colors my opinion. Interesting.
That's unicorn.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
Samuel the Infamous. I saw it 4 times at the same tiny theater in a town I grew up in. I was 13. The moment Daniel Jackson stepped through the gate for the first time, I was blown away.
That's like Marsha, who won the Stargate competition with us, Nicole. She saw it in the cinema like a bunch of times.
I love talking to her about this stuff because, she's a lot older than us, so she got to experience these things firsthand. And there's a certain like wisdom.
She's from a different sci-fi generation.
Yeah, it's really interesting to hear what she has to say.
Yeah, she's of the Isaac Asimov era. Of science fiction. Philip K. Dick. I mean, there are some. I mean, she's probably younger than that, but still, it's like, keep in mind that those are like the stories that she's coming from, and then she comes into this and sees it from that perspective. Gaia. I love the scene at the beginning when Daniel says, "No, the translation is all wrong," and gives the Stargate its name. I think this scene inspired me years later to learn Japanese. And when I could read my first word in hiragana, I felt the same way I did while watching the scene. So there's some love out there for the movie. Absolutely.
No, yeah. I think the movie doesn't get enough credit. I think it's a damn good time. And you know what? People are always like, Independence Day and Kurt Russell, James Spader. And they're always like taking them out of the context of Stargate and like throwing other things that everyone else has worked on to like attributing those pieces of work to those actors and those directors and stuff. Right. And I'm always sitting there like, but they all did Stargate, and that was actually like good. Like people are like nowadays are like James Spader, that Ultron, or he was in The Office for the last few seasons. Yeah, everyone, I love James Spader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he's in The Office. Okay. Yeah,
interesting.
It's a cult classic. I think you can call it a cult classic.
I need to see The Office.
Yes, you do need to see The Office.
I've seen Parks and Rec. It was good.
Well, I think Summer is trying to watch The Office and she's not enjoying it.
I didn't love
everybody. I didn't watch it when it aired because I worked in a similar environment to that. I was like, why do I want to go home and watch it?
Well, so did I.
That's how I was feeling.
I worked in the insurance office, and I could definitely draw some parallels between the TV show and working in there, and I sort of were getting some PTSD flashbacks.
I didn't. I didn't like Jim. I thought Jim was the worst because he just bullied Dwight the whole time. Like he made his entire job about bullying Dwight.
Steve Carell made me so uncomfortable. There's just some things that he says, and you're just like, I don't know how to handle this.
Puts his foot in it. Yeah, no.
Let's stay on track here.
Yes.
Pignataro. It changed my life, literally. I was a fan of both Egypt and science at that time, and when the movie came out, it gave me a new, complete mix of two of the things I used to love the most. It was so touching for a kid that was starting to live and make choices for his life. I remember watching it full of emotions at home. I still can experiment now when I rewatch it or with the music. Huge feeling of emotion and happiness, only compared to the moment SG-1 entered into my life, also with another hero of my childhood taking on the main role in it, RDA. So there's a lot there to unpack.
There is a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
But that's with the movie, I mean, there's a whole world there that's opening wide for us, and then Brad and Rob just took it and ran. And
I just want to say I did a little chuckle there. That wasn't his beautiful comment. It was the fact that when I thought of MacGyver, the first thing I thought about was the SNL sketch MacGruber, and I just laughed to myself for a second.
Pepsi.
I couldn't watch it. You sent me that clip. I couldn't finish it. It was awful.
It was so funny.
It's pretty outrageous.
I don't get it. No, I don't know.
That's SNL.
I do love the TV show MacGyver. I do love it. Like
he
the
did
original.
such a good sketch of his character in SNL that I was like, I respect this so much that he's okay with roasting his past self. I think it's super important that
that's
people do
admirable
that.
for sure, because a lot of people wouldn't be willing to do that.
But
I didn't find it that funny, to be quite honest. I wanted to like it, but I had to stop it after like 5 minutes.
Was it ruining one of your favorite things?
Yes.
MacGyver's one of your favorite things.
A little
bit.
Really?
She loves RDA.
I haven't seen it in
I do
years.
love RDA. It is my dream to meet him in person.
Really?
Don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah, I got her an autograph from Wales Comic Con from RDA. And because she couldn't meet him, and I went on a whole thing being like, okay, this is my friend Evie's amazing. This is why she's amazing. Now sign this for her.
And he signed it, and it says bless, and then his autograph down below. So I
really went on a rant
because
really articulate.
Around the same time, I went on a bit of an amigurumi crochet I don't know, trek, and I made a little amigurumi crochet MacGyver and then a Jack O'Neill, and I was going to give it to Nicole to take with her to give it to him, even though I'm pretty sure he doesn't accept gifts. Anyway, I didn't finish them in time. So I mentioned it to the guys in the Stargate chat, and Brazat, he actually knows RDA's manager, and he got me his postal address, and I actually posted them, but I don't know if they ever arrived.
Fingers crossed they did.
That's the thing, you never know.
I want to think that RDA, when he naps with your little crochet dolls, just, you know.
I made like
going
the
back
doll. I did proper hair. It actually had care. Like I crocheted it, but I also brushed it out, so it looked like it looked like a mop of hair. And then I
can't believe you did it.
I made the missile, so I could hold the missile.
I'm not even a MacGyver fan, and I want it just because it sounds funny. So
final comment here. Dialings for the film. Dialing sequence was really amazing. Best dialing sequence ever.
You know, I do have a personal problem with the dialing sequence, which is, and it's fine. It's fine. I get it. And I think it's because I watched SG-1, so I feel like they like perfected the sound. But when they're dialing it right, it's like just a bunch of clicks. And it sounds so weirdly like artificial in a non-good way. Even
though it's what started it all.
Yeah, I don't like the clicks. It really bothers me. It just sounds like a bunch of plastic just slapping together. Honestly,
low budget sound effects.
That's the best way I can think of it. Yeah.
I think you're wrong.
I think you're wrong, but you know, okay. Let's disagree. But the TV show had like that really like you could feel the ancientness in the sounds when it was clicking in, and whenever the chevron was getting encoded, I was sitting there like, what a good sound, you know.
It's satisfying.
Also, the Atlantis gate doesn't dial like nicely enough because obviously nothing spins and nothing clicks. So
it's more like digital versus analog.
It looks
well, that's the thing.
Yeah, 100%. That's my issue. So SG-1 gate, best gate in my opinion. The clicking sound is what does it.
I agree, but I think because we love that series so much, and it sort of kickstarted. I guess our journey. I think maybe we sort of put that particular Stargate in a certain light, if you know what I mean.
That's it. I think so.
I'll happily sit here and accept that I'm biased, and that's okay. There's nothing better than thinking about an episode of Stargate, like, and most of them have the opening of an incoming wormhole, and you start hearing the incoming wormhole with the chevrons locking, and you're like,
oh, you get like
this is going to be a good. Exactly.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is Solitudes, when they're coming in through the gate and they have that split dial.
Yes.
And when it's happening, he's like, they just went through, and then they all start flying through. Also, the CGI for the actual Event Horizon is incredible. Like sometimes I go back.
It blows me away.
Right? I'll pause it. Some episodes, the Event Horizon looks bad. You know, like low budget episode. I'm assuming. But
well, they had different vendors.
Yeah, so I like to pause it on Solitudes and be like, look at that high definition on my giant 4K TV, and I'll make people look at it, and I'm like, look at those ripple effects. Look at the way that Daniel's being flung from the gate, right?
Like you're like looking at like a high class piece of artwork or something.
Yes, it is a high class piece of art. It's beautiful.
Something by like Da Vinci or something.
I want to get whoever did the Solitudes CGI and stuff. I want to get that person's number, and I want to text them. Thank them. It's beautiful.
Your heartfelt thanks.
For 1997 and 98, that looks incredible. I was like, damn, I was just born.
They are very well done graphics.
Yeah. In fact, I think both for you, when you have time, go to Solitudes, go pause when Daniel's flying through the gate, and just really take it in.
Okay.
So I'm moving on after this.
Hey everybody, David Reed here with Wormhole Extremists. If you enjoyed this video, if Nicole, Evie, and I, do us a favor, hit that like button, and if you want to see when a new video drops, press subscribe. You'll be one of the first to get access to our content. Also, if you know another Stargate fan out there who might like to see this conversation, don't be afraid to share this video with them. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you on the other side.